You can count him in to turn into Michael Jordan in the playoffs.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
I mean, he destroyed us. That's what it is. He had a hell of a game.
See how he plays? You know, he's tough. He's tough. You got to be ready every possession, you know. So it's nerve-wracking, you know, if that's the word I can use.
There's been a lot of discussions going around NBA players that are the most feared in the league. The two names that would immediately stand out would be Kobe Bryant and, of course, his airness, Michael Jordan. LeBron James is kind of debatable in the sense that people often debate about it.
Nobody fears Gronk. Nobody's like, damn, I gotta go play this Gronk. Right? Nobody said that. I don't know why.
Right.
Because I've seen people be scared when they actually line up to him, but they're not scared thinking about that matchup.
And I ain't gonna lie, man. I was scared as hell going into that Game 7 against LeBron James. And this was the only time that I actually prayed that something happened to him at practice.
But as for the previous two players mentioned, they have an apparent heir in the NBA. Someone who can also shoot and score at will from mid-range, from the post, even from outside, also considered as if not the greatest perimeter defender today, while also having that clutch gene and that aura that makes other players scared to face him. And this is him right here. Thanasis Nope. It's actually this man, Kawhi Leonard. 2 times NBA champion, 2 finals MVPs, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, 7 times All-Defensive Team selections, and certified robot of the NBA. He's one of the most lethal players in the league, both defensively and offensively. He's ended 2 of the great dynasties the NBA has ever seen, with the Stephen Curry Warriors and LeBron's Heatles. And he doesn't really trash talk, have an ego, and keeps out of drama, which is why he's one of the most respected as well as the most feared players in the association. The analysts and the non-player podcasts and the pundits may have differing opinions on him, but the players themselves, those who have been teammates and opponents of the Claw, all just have this reverence, respect, and even fear of Kawhi. Let's hear from some of those people and just see why Kawhi Leonard is every NBA superstar's nightmare.
I mean, he's tough, obviously. He's been playing amazing this whole playoff run and really all season. He's always at his own pace and never seems to get rushed or be in a hurry. He's obviously physically gifted and strong and can get to his spots, but he's become a really good shooter. When he gets even off the dribble, getting to a spot, rising up. And his counters are pretty solid too. You take one thing away from him, he can shift directions, try to get a shoulder by you, get into the paint. He uses the entire floor really well, and played off Kawhi really well. So you want to make it as difficult as possible on him.
He's an amazing player. You can see it every game. He shows up every game. It's just hard to stop him. Almost impossible to stop him. Like I said, he's an amazing player, and a lot of people look up to him. I mean, he destroyed us. That's what it is. He had a hell of a game.
I wouldn't necessarily say he's not dominant because he just dominates the game. And so I think the challenge with Kawhi is it doesn't look the same. Like, when Steph dominated the game, like Kevin dominated the game, Damian Lillard dominated the game, LeBron dominated the game. Like, it does not look the same as when Kawhi is dominating the game. And so it can fool you to just say we can just guard him this way, or we can do this, or, we don't have to put too much focus into him. We still gotta, because it doesn't look the same, it's not as pretty. But boy, is it effective. And so, where a lot of those guys that I just named are like natural God-given scorers, Kawhi isn't that. Kawhi didn't come into this league as a scorer, yet he's one of the best scorers we have in the league now.
I love watching him play. I just love watching him play. And Kawhi's been able to do, and with the spots that he operates from, are the exact same spots where I like to operate from. The elbow, the mid-post, the 1-2 bump, turn left shoulder, fade, turn right shoulder, fade. I mean, I love watching those guys play.
He's on the floor. It just gives you the ultimate confidence that, like, you know, we got him on our side. You know what I mean? Like, a guy that is a pure bucket. He loves the moment. You know, he doesn't shy away from the moment. He steps up in the biggest times. You know, even, you know, the slow start that he had, it was like, all right, he's, you know, we're good. He's getting good looks. He's getting good shots. Like, he's going to turn this game around at some point, and we're going to be in the game because of his shot-making ability and his playmaking and, like, just his overall presence on the floor. It's just an ultimate respect when it comes to Kawhi. Like, they know what he's about. They know, you know, that it's going to be a rough night. Like, nobody, the guys that talk the most trash don't say shit to Kawhi. Like, they know what it is. Whereas over here, they're like, oh, I can talk it to Paul. Like, he'll talk back. But, you know, Kawhi, it's respect over here.
I'm more disappointed that Kawhi is injured again, you know, more so than the matchup. Obviously, that's always fun playing against an all-time great, but I don't know Kawhi that well, but he seems like he loves the game, loves to play, just loves to hoop on this stage, especially around the playoffs. So I'm more disappointed for him that, you know, he's not out there doing something that he loves. But it's also fun, you know, getting a chance to compete against him. Well, not fun, but it's a challenge getting a chance to compete against somebody like Kawhi. But I hope he gets back out there soon and gets him and PG get back healthy soon. See how he plays? You know, he's tough. He's tough. You got to be ready every possession, you know. So it's nerve-wracking, you know, if that's the word I can use.
What has been the best team you've seen this season and the best player?
Every night, my best player, you know, my top fives and my GOATs. Like, I feel like every week they change. You know what I'm saying? So I think this last week, right before the break, Minnesota was playing good ball. Clippers playing great ball. If anything, I'd probably say Clippers and give it to Kawhi, best player I've seen.
He's a great defensive player. You know, I always seen him give everyone trouble. You know, he can really guard the ball.
And we had an exchange in the previous play, and I kind of just like walked over to him, and I can't remember what I said, but I just kind of like tapped him on his stomach. And I remember thinking to myself, I just touched a robot. Like, this motherfucker is built.
He was like, we played the Clippers in LA, and you know, at this point I'm getting like, you know, guys off the bench are guarding me, like guys like, you know, I'm not that high up on the scouting report. And Kawhi's like, yo, I got him. And I'm like, what's going on? Okay. And so I come to get a dribble handoff, and his hand is on my hip, and I'm at the 3-point line, I think. And then I get the handoff. I look down. I'm at the logo. I'm like, I don't even know how I got out here. But I think he pushed me. It's crazy how strong these guys are.
When we weren't playing together, when we were matched up, and I was in Indy and he was in San Antonio, or even Oklahoma and he was in Toronto, like, every time we matched up, it was like I gotta make sure I am, like, everything is efficient, because, like, you could lose Kawhi, but somehow, like, he's in the play. Like, I never understood it. Like, I could get by him sometimes, and, like, he's still there. Like, it's still a big ass hand that's coming to contest, and it's like, where did you come from? Like, he just has a knack and an ability to stay in a play. Like, it's almost, it's impressive. Like, it is super impressive, because, like, as good as he's great, phenomenal defensively, but there's times where somebody might beat him, but then he, like, has this crazy ability. It's like his arms get longer, his fingers stretch further, and he has a way to get back into play that's, like, super impressive. It's like he just has this grip on the floor where he, you know, get anywhere and close anything off. It's crazy. It's crazy to watch. It is crazy to watch.
He was a king down there. Kawhi's a living legend, man. He's like a Scottie Pippen. He's a freak, man.
He looks amazing. I'm actually last time we played them, we can count him into turning into Michael Jordan in the playoffs. So I think, you know, once you get to that level, I think he looks great now. I think he's going to be even better once you get to the playoffs.
He hit a tough one. You tip your hat to that, man. He's an incredible player. We know it. Y'all know it. too much more you can say about it.
Great player, obviously. He did his thing. Got to give him credit. He made some tough shots the whole series. They leaned on him heavily, don't know. But he's a great player.
I mean, we all know what he's capable of. As a Finals MVP, a two-time champ, and he's seasoned. He's been there before. We know this is the time of year that he plays, and I have a lot of respect for him. So excited for the opportunity to match up against him.
You can tell from the way he was playing, and not just in this series, in the previous series also. The way he plays, he has so much patience. He knows what he's going to do. He has confidence in himself, and he has the experience. He's been here before. He's been to the finals multiple times, and he played well. He did everything that he could to help his team win, and it was a tough guy to guard for our team.
I remember was it in Philly? Was it game 5 in Philly? Or game 6 in Philly, when Kawhi was kind of like going crazy too. It was in Philly.
I think we brought this up with Fred. That was game 4.
That was game 4?
We were up in the 4th, and Kawhi just took over.
Yeah, he just took off. That game was crazy.
I'm going to confirm this at some point when we have Kyle on the pod. But Kyle told me after the series, he's like, I remember in that 4th quarter, I thought the series was over.
Yeah.
I thought
it was
Kawhi
tough.
saved.
It's Kawhi just he took over. He literally took over because it was a tough environment, and I think nothing was going in for us. Nothing was going well. We wasn't playing really well, and he just Kawhi just he just took over. And I think after that it was we're good. You know what I mean?
He's a great player. I mean, a guy that can score at all levels, guys that can defend many different positions. Great, rebounding instincts. He grabbed a couple loose balls. He's just a great player that willed his team, made plays, made some tough shots. Just let them. Great player though.
Offense, defense, and the clutch gene, all aspects that Kawhi excels in. And what makes him just a scary proposition to go against? And we're not just saying that, because you just heard it from the guys themselves.